move my blanket up out of here, messing up my shirt, my extra blanket. Okay, let me find a song that I want to do. So I'm giving you a Founding Fathers wig tonight. Because tonight I want to talk about how I've been feeling, during these holidays. I was listening to gospel all earlier today, and I haven't listened to gospel in a long time. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, people be sending me like gospel music in my DM on Facebook, and I be kind of like flashing out at people. I be like, why you sending me this? But during the holidays, I always get a little I always get a little Christiany, and I just be feeling the need to sing gospel songs. But I do change the words, like, instead of just saying he all the time, he saw the best in me while everyone else around could only see the worst in me. So I'd be like, she saw the best. And instead of saying God, I'll say God, and sometimes like I change the words to remind me of my wholeness. And that's one of the reasons why I struggle, and it's taken me so long to find someone that I could seriously think about being in a relationship with, because a lot of these guys, are Christian, are Muslim, they're a part of these, what I like to call sororities, or part of these cliques that, celebrate masculinity, they pay homage to masculinity. And sometimes I ask myself, like, not to be shady to my ancestors, but like, should I really be just so heartbroken because of all of the horrible things that have happened to Negro people, to Afro Indigenous and the Aboriginals of this land who are dark skinned, and those who came over on slave ships, like should I really just be so heartbroken for what happened to my ancestors, when we really just look at how um, we've been truly invested in building up this lopsided system of oppression? I was listening to a lot of the songs today, and it just amazes me. If God is everything, if God is all knowing, if God is infinite and omnipotent, why should it matter that we call that being he? Why should it matter that we're so specific to say Jesus? Like, why is that so important? And another thing, because I got questions. And another thing, if Jesus taught forgiveness, if that was one of the things Jesus taught, forgive and turn the other cheek, then shouldn't God forgive Satan? Like, like, can Satan have redemption? Can Satan be forgiven? Can Lucifer be forgiven? Because if Jesus is teaching us to forgive and teaching us to turn the other cheek, then shouldn't God lead by example and forgive Satan? I got questions today, and I need answers. So if Jesus teaches us to forgive and to turn the other cheek, then shouldn't God lead by example? You know what I'm saying? Like, is there redemption for Satan? Is there a chance? Hey, how you doing, Perina? I don't know if I'm saying that right or not. You see, I got on a Founding Fathers wig tonight. I was feeling Founding Fathers wig, baby. But anyway, just because. But yeah, I'm just saying. Like, I feel like we're taught through our religion, we're gonna stomp on the enemy's head. And I was listening to the song earlier today. Hey, Stoner Assassin, you called me Trina, my nickname. Okay, all right, good. I like that. So it's like Trina. Okay, all right. Hey, John. So basically, like, I'm sitting here, just thinking about that, like, because the Christmas holidays are always very difficult for me, because people who know me, y'all know I'm like a super super spiritual person. My spirituality is super strong, and today I was listening to my music, but sometimes you just want to go to church, and there's not any gospel music that really just gives me the type of worship that fulfills me, because I don't understand why all of the good gospel songs you have to be like praying to him. Like, I don't understand, like I like this song that David Mann sing, and he said, Lord, you're marvelous. Lord, you're marvelous. You're just a wonder for me. Lord, you're marvelous. I mean, and then this is like a masculine song. Then Tamala Man got this, for all that you have done. You deserve my praise. Victories you won. You deserve my praise, because I am free. You deserve my praise. Well, you get the point. And then she got, when I think of the goodness and all that he has done. And then it's like, every time you're getting into it, here come a he, like it's just all of these he's in the song. Like, it's just like every song that I like, take me to the king. Here you go again, like. So, like, I was listening to these songs today, and every time, like, I had to change the words, but I be wanting to have that worship, I was listening to Smokey Norfield, I Need You Now. And then there's this other song I like, what God has for me, it is for me. I know without a doubt that he will bring me out. What God has for me, it is for me. It is for me. And so I like change the words. I be like, I know without a doubt that she will bring me out. What God is. And like, I feel like I should be able to do, like, at the beginning of the songs, I have to like go into meditation and remind myself to thank my ancestors. Like, I just be like, I just be like so thankful to the ancestors, because at the end of the day, that's who we're praying to. We're praying to those who are coming before us, those who are here, those who are coming after us. And I don't think there's anything wrong with worshiping and celebrating our ancestors. I just feel like it's and I think that a lot of the things that I have suffered psychologically in this reality is because yes. I think a lot of the things that I have suffered in this reality is because I had low self-esteem, because I was more feminine than masculine, and because I was so feminine, I was looked at as inferior. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, you were considered inferior for being feminine. Being feminine is still today considered an inferiority. And so I think that a lot of the self-esteem issues that I suffered was because I looked at my femininity as a detriment. I looked at my connection to my foremothers as something shameful. and something that put me down and something that made me less than and something that made me vulnerable. And so, I have to affirm myself in the music because I love gospel music, but I have not been able to listen to it because so many of the songs I like, they just trigger me every time they come on. I love Tamala Man. She's like one of my favorite artists. And I was listening to this song. She got this song, Safety in His Arms. Safety in His arms. I find peace in His arms, in His arms. And that's where I wanna be. And then so you saw all of the he's that she said, like you heard all them he's, like it was just like buku he's, and it's like psychologically and subconsciously, it's like in order for you to have that power, you have to call on his name or you have to exalt him. And people could say that God doesn't have a sex and God doesn't have a gender, but that never stopped them from making these songs where they praising this man. And I definitely feel like our ancestors volunteered to participate in this, because these songs that like we've made some beautiful songs, some touching songs, and some, like there's been some amazing songs that Black people have made for gospel music, and I don't think nobody put no gun to their head and made them pray to this man. And I just don't understand, if we're an ancient people and we've been around forever, why every time we lift up our every time we lift our voices in praise, we never want to honor the mother. Like, why aren't there gospel songs that celebrate the mother? Why isn't there gospel songs that celebrate mother and father? Why isn't there gospel songs that uplift, the divine as masculine and feminine? Like, why has this not been done? So I just feel like, you know, Nova said it one time, the Black Boule. I think that the Black Boule, Black people who are in power in this nation, Black people who call the shots, people who have melanin, people who have wealth, I think that they signed up for this, and a lot of our people have just been suffering, as a casualty, because it was never meant for a whole bunch of Black people to be wealthy and thrive in this nation. I think when the contract was struck, when the agreement was made, it was like, look, it's only a few Black people gonna prosper in this land. Now, if you joining up to worship King Jesus, Father God, King Jesus, you have to understand that, going into this, that this is not going to be for all people of color to be over here thriving. If you want something like that, then take your ass back to Africa. But what we doing over here in America is, this is going to be a land where predominantly, the pale face is going to prosper. Now, if you want to be a part of this, you want to be a part of what we doing, then, make your Father God, King Jesus songs, show us your worship, show us how you gonna praise him, how you gonna lift him up, how you gonna, like, if you down with this, if you down with the king, then do what you got to do. Like, I feel like it was intentional. Like, I just feel like it was intentional. And so, like, during the holidays, I struggle with that because I feel like a lot of these gospel songs were made with good intentions. I feel like a lot of our ancestors, they just didn't do the math. Like, some of us was just, because gospel is healing. Gospel music is healing. I'm not going to say you don't put on a gospel song and it does not make you feel better. It does not brighten your mood. Sometimes it cries. Sometimes you get depressed and you feel convicted and you feel worse. But there are times when you put on gospel and gospel just changes the mood and it brings you into the spirit of worship. So I'm not going to say all of my ancestors knowingly contributed to this. But at the end of the day, for all people who make gospel music and write gospel music, At any point, at any time, did it ever cross your mind, like Brian McKnight said, did it ever cross your mind that you was erasing your mother, that you were corrupting our spirituality? Did it ever cross your mind? Like, I was listening to this song Faith Evans said, Faith Evans got a gospel song that she did with Donald Lawrence, and she was like you did for Peter, say a prayer for me. And it's like, in this song, she's talking about a bunch of men, and it's like, what happened to what happened to the feminine energy? What happened to the mother? What happened to, like, how did we get to this place, and how did we continue on for so long? Like, we've been doing this for at least, that I know of. I'm finna be 45. And that's all I've ever known, was praying to a man. And they was doing this before I got here. When we came into the world, if you 45 years old, you came into a world that was worshiping men. And so now, and I'm not saying we should just worship a mother. I'm not saying that we should not acknowledge the father. I'm not saying that we should not give him praise and that he is not worthy of worship. I'm just saying that he shouldn't always be acknowledged as he. When we look in African cultures and African spirituality, the Orisha, a lot of these divine gods depicted themselves as both masculine and feminine. Obatala, who is like a creation god, was hermaphroditic, and Obatala took on the female form. So Obatala wouldn't always manifest as a male. Obatala would manifest as a female. There are other deities in African spirituality that are hermaphroditic. That is what the god Hermes was supposed to stand for. Like, Hermes was supposed to be hermaphroditic. Like, this is not new. This is not foreign. Even in the Bible, it says, when they were doing the creation story, they said, let us go down and make man in our image. So this is implying that God was some type of dual spirit. And I think that that deity encompasses some things that we don't understand. Like evil, is a part of that 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 thing that is the source. Like, what we understand as evil, because of the way that we've been taught through westernized religion, all things work together for the good. And so sometimes ugly, chaotic things have to happen in order to get the result that we need to grow. Like, say, for example, when it rains outside, okay, sometimes it's storming and it's violently raining outside. And so little insects are dying, flowers are sometimes swept away, tree limbs getting broke off. And understand that even though these are small, what we consider many times insignificant things in our mind, because we're so caught up in a box in our mind, but these are living things that when it storms outside, they die. During these winter months, it's going to be stray animals that are going to be out there dying. There is going to be stray animals that's going to freeze to death out there in this winter. But that is a part of life, and animals have been freezing to death since they was walking this planet. That happens during the winter months. So is that evil? When a thunderstorm comes and floods happen, and those animals and those insects that are out there drown and die or freeze to death, is that evil? Is nature evil? And see, we process, but when it comes to us, we look at everything that is violent, or everything that's harmful, or everything that we don't understand, or everything that we can't make sense of, we view it as evil. And that's because our spirituality has been corrupted. And so I struggle, like during these holidays, like, with relationships, you know, with people, because I don't want to rain on nobody parade. I didn't came a long way, because baby, I used to be rude. I used to be rude for the holidays. I used to be rude. I used to didn't care about your feelings. I ain't care. Child, when I first woke up, when I first started waking up from my sleep, I was on Facebook screaming and hollering and cussing and talking about Jesus and talking about the church, and I was mad, and I still have a lot of those feelings, but I know that everybody who is a Christian, they're not the enemy. Like, they're not against me. Every Christian is not the same. Every Muslim is not the same. I just think that everybody is at different places in consciousness. I can remember when I was young, I was so devoted to the church. I was a Christian, honey. I was so devoted. I used to be the person when the pastor would be preaching, I would be sitting in a pew with my notebook and my ink pen, taking notes on what the pastor said. Like, I wrote notes. Now, I ain't gonna lie, when I was little, when I first started listening to the pastor preach, I used to fall asleep on him. I was there for the choir. When the choir finished singing, I was asleep. When I was a child, when I was like 8, 9. But when I got 12, 13, when I got a little older, um, I really paid attention and I took notes. I paid attention to what the pastor was preaching, and I would go to different churches and I would take notes. I was there for that word. So I was very dedicated. And I was like that as an American. When I was little, I loved the Star Spangled Banner. I was a proud American. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the public for which it stands. I was all that. So I was a patriot and I was a Christian when I was little. But the Bible says when I was a child, I thought as a child. And when I grew up, I put away childish things. And for me, the Bible, how it's taught to us, I don't care how advanced it is, if we still acknowledging God as a he, and we're still talking about stomping on the devil's head and challenging the enemy, when in the scripture it says that God held conversations with Satan about how to deal with Job. God and Job was sitting up having a conversation. God and the devil was sitting up having a conversation about how to deal with Job. God gave Job permission. God gave Satan permission to wear Job out. Satan was going into heaven, sitting up there chopping it up with the Lord. And it says that in the Bible it says that God gave Satan permission. So you sitting up here talking about the enemy is trying to sift me as we, but like you did for Peter, say a prayer for me. So, and then they be talking about, we're gonna stomp on the enemy's head today. I'm confused. You're gonna stomp on the enemy's head, but Father God, King Jesus is sitting up here in heaven telling Satan that do all these things to you. Like Satan gets permission from God to do things to you. God gave Satan dominion over this planet. And so when you mature spiritually, you have to be able to have these conversations in order to grow, because how can we continue to blame Caucasian people and colonizers? Excuse, I'm drinking this stuff. This stuff make me belch. I love it. I love it, but it makes me belchy. But yeah, I love like kombachas. I love like different kombachas. Like I haven't had a kombacha in a minute, but I love kombacha. But we have to be able, to have that, and I always say this, like, come to Jesus, come to Obatala, come to Oshun, come to whoever it is that you come into. But we have to have this moment, and I feel like when the holidays come, they come with all that, and I be listening to some of my relatives on Facebook, and be looking at some of my family members on Facebook, and they be, and I just want to thank the Lord for waking me up this morning. And I just want to thank you, Father, for everything you've done. And it'd be hard for me to feel bad for them when some crazy stuff happened, because you are choosing to compartmentalize your worship. I'm trying to say this without being ugly, because I could say this and I could eat a greasy pork chop. I'm trying not to do that tonight. But you're choosing to disrespect half of your DNA, half of your ancestry. You're choosing, like every time we do that type of praise and worship, we're choosing to disrespect a part of ourselves. And there are consequences for everything. There are consequences for everything. For every action, there's a reaction. It's most of the crime that happens is men killing men. And that's because too much energy is being given to that. It's too great a charge that's going into that. And so that it needs to be worship. The worship needs to be balanced. Like our praise and our worship needs to be balanced. And I think if our praise and worship was to balance itself out and it will start to be different, I don't think that I don't think that murder and violence is never not going to be a thing. But I don't think that it would be as bad as it is now. And I think that when it did happen, we would have more compassion and more understanding and more resolve in how to deal with these situations. We would be more prepared because we would be more whole in our minds. We would be more stable in our being. And so it wouldn't be so horrible, because I think the law of the universe would fulfill itself, and there would be a shift, and things would, like, I think there's always going to be problems. I don't think there's ever going to be a time where the whole world is going to experience collective peace, because we all weren't born at the same time. We all are not going to die at the same time. We all don't come into consciousness at the same time. So there's always going to be those of us who are going to be in a different space in conscious, in a different space in understanding. So there's always going to be chaos going on somewhere. But at least if our spirituality was more well-rounded, if our spirituality was more complete, we would know how to deal with these things in a way that could actually bring us some legitimate peace in our minds instead of just always feeling like, why me? Woe is me. Why is this? Why is my life like this? Why is the black man so persecuted? Why are we so beat down? Like why we still singing we shall overcome? Why Martin Luther King died 50 something years ago and we still singing we shall overcome? Why when we had the first black president of the United States, his black part was from Kenya? He wasn't a descendant of the slaves. Why we ain't never had a black female who was the descendants of slaves to be in damn to be the damn president? Why we still going through this 50 years later, but we supposed to be so amazing, so such a brilliant people, the oldest people, like why is it still like this? And I'm gonna tell you the reason why it's like this is because our ancestors signed up for this shit. Our ancestors signed up for this. I'm not saying all of them did. Some of them signed up and didn't know. They was just born into it. Kind of like when we was born. We ain't know no better. We came here. Our ancestors were saying, Jesus is on the main line. Tell him what you want. We was brought up. We ain't know no better. But when do we say enough is enough? When do we say enough is enough? When do we say, you know what, I can't do this no more. This is disrespect to my foremothers. This is disrespect to the divine feminine. This is respect to the other half of my DNA. This is respect to the XX chromosome. And if it is, Jesus was carried by Mary. This is disrespect to Mary. This is disrespect to the host for the divine. This is just disrespect. And so we need to get some balance in this worship. Because I think I heard one gospel song about Mary, and it was what, "Oh Mary, full of grace," and then they have, "Oh Mary, don't you we tell Martha not to mourn, Martha not to mourn." Like they mention her, but it's not really at no capacity of not no great magnitude. I can't think of any songs offhand that are gospel songs that are really about a divine feminine or that acknowledge a divine feminine in the gospel. Like when we think of the gospel, like they purposely took the books about the female prophets out of the Bible. And y'all, I'm gonna talk about this. This is always gonna be a topic for me because it may not change in my lifetime. I may not live to see wholeness happen. Um, like a spirituality for wholeness. I would love to see that. I would love to be here for that. To see a new church, raise up, um, led by people that look like me. That is not rooted in patriarchy or white supremacy. Um, because we don't understand how big a role our spirituality plays in everything. That is how you unite people. Our church is the center of everything. Our church has always been the center of community. It's the center of our politics. It's the catalyst for our education. A lot of our HBCUs were funded by religious groups. Like the church has so much power. And until we correct our spirituality, until we correct it, we are going to be doomed. We hear often that the tribes of African descent, the Negro people, were cursed. We hear we were cursed. And I think this is why we were cursed. because we know better. A lot of races don't know better, but if any race knows better, we know better. We know better. We know how important the matriarch is. We know how important femininity is. We know how magical that energy is. And for us not to honor it, for us not to make room for it in our worship and our praise, for us to gather in these churches and pretend like that energy doesn't exist. In the Bible it says men will become lovers of themselves, and we've created a homosexual religion. The church always preaching against homosexuals, but you're promoting homosexuality through the worship. You don't understand why so many of these men in love with men. Look at what you did to the mother. Look at what you did to the XX chromosome. Look at what you did to the womb bearer. So until we correct this, I think that our people are going to continue to suffer. I think that the suffering is going to happen even after we correct it. Because let's be clear. They say Rome wasn't built in a day. This is not going to be built in a day either. You know, we probably going to have to wander around in the wilderness for about 40 years, wander around to get this together, and some people going to have to die off. But once we start getting it right, yeah, once we get it right, it's still gonna be a mess. It's still gonna be some suffering. It's still gonna be some problems, but we will be on the path. And I think that our descendants, I think that our grandchildren and our great grandchildren, when they unleash the full power of their worship, do you see them? Can you see them? Can you see the chill bumps? Can you see them chill bumps? When they unleash the full power of their worship, when our grandchildren and our great grandchildren fall up in them temples and them sanctuaries, talking about some mother, father, God, goddess, honoring their mothers and honoring their fathers, when they start to do that, it's gonna shift. It's gonna be a whole shift. No telling what them children gonna be able to do. Them children might be around here flying. No telling what them children might be doing. We cannot even begin to fathom, because that is going to open up a door. That's going to like the mother has probably been asleep. She's probably been angry. Our female ancestors have probably been angry with us, because let's be clear, not all of our female Hinduism. Yeah, they do it. The Hindus do it. They got it right. Um, Hindus pray to Shakti and Shiva. Yeah, they do the masculine and the feminine, and you know, I think that the Africans have played a part in this, because the Africans, there's a lot of Africans that have joined the patriarch and have started to pray to the patriarch. And if you ask me, I think that I think that this one-sided worship is demonic. I think that praying to the suppression of part of the divine is demonic. I think that it's corrupt. It's a corruption. It's a corruption of our spirituality, and we're being cursed because our ancestors did this for a reason. They did this because they were trying to attain something. They wanted something. And I think that maybe the men, our ancestors, the men in our line, they were envious of something that maybe females had. And so they created this society, and they corrupted our spirituality. And that is what led to us being mentally enslaved. But if we want to break free of this, we have to start creating the culture and the music. We have to start telling stories that talk about the divine feminine and the divine masculine. We have to start questioning the pastors at church. We have to start questioning the bishops. We have to start asking, our local pastor in the church. Like, we have to not be afraid to ask those questions. Like, why don't we talk about the divine feminine? Like, if God is everything, if God is masculine and feminine, if God is mother and father, why don't you preach your sermons this way? Why when you preach, you always say him? Why do you always refer to God as a masculine thing? So we have to start questioning our leaders. We have to start questioning our dignitaries and start holding them accountable. These gospel singers, these women who out here singing all these gospel songs. Because let me tell you something, it's giving black boule teas. It's giving very much black boule teas. And they say a lot of them behind the scenes, they be going to, magical people and having magical people to intercede and pray to the divine feminine for them behind the scene. They be going to the witches and stuff. In the Bible, they say Solomon went to go and see a necromancer when he wanted to talk to somebody who was dead. So Solomon used to go outside of the church and used to seek out, people that was Solomon used to go outside of the church, King Solomon in the Bible, and he would seek out people who practice different religions. Yeah, the church folk do it. They go behind the scenes and they pray to they seek out and pay people who pray to the divine feminine, who don't pray to Jesus. They seek them out and they have work for them. They have work done for them behind the scenes. Then they come get in a pulpit and tell you, Father God, King Jesus, have you around here minimizing your worship so you can continue to be a sheep, so you can continue to be at the mercy of this machine, of this fascist tyrant, Mafa. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, they hold. But they're gonna come teach you how to chop up your worship and how to chop up your praise. No. Then have us around here hating each other, hating our mamas and hating our daddies. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I've been on both sides of the hate. When I was young, and I ain't gonna lie, when I was in my teens and my early 20s, I was born a man and you came from my rib, and I thought I was better, honey, because I was born with a penis, honey. I was very much, the church hadn't got to me, honey. I used to tell every time a female tried to make me feel bad because I didn't have a biological pussy, and it was just hurt people. It was hurt people. I was born a man, and you came from my rib. I was like that in my teens and my 20s. And then when I had my sex change and when I got castrated, because I got castrated first when I was around 29 years old, and I started to really, really wake up to how the world was treating women and how women were being treated in society, then I was like, oh, this is fucked up. This is messed up. I was really, really upset. I was pissed off. So then I started hating men. Then I started trying to erase my connection to my father, because our body is our canvas. So I ain't want to look nothing like a man. I ain't want you to be able to see no masculinity in me. I was ashamed to have been born with male genitalia. I was ashamed to be connected to men in that way. I was ashamed. I hated them. So I went through hate on both sides. I at one time I disrespected females and looked down on them because of how the church had taught me and made me feel I was superior because I was born with a penis. And then as I matured and I saw the game, I was on the other side of it. And so now I'm in the middle. Now I'm where I should be. I love my mother. I honor my mothers and I honor my fathers, which is crazy because right now I'm beefing with my biological mama. I'm beefing with my biological mama. I'm beefing with my biological daddy. I'm beefing with all of them right now. We beefing. I'm mad at her and him. But I love them. I don't wish no bad on them. But we beefing right now. We're not in the best space right now. But I be sending my mama text messages and stuff. I be texting my mama. My mama is ignoring me. She mad at me. She evil with me right now. She evil with me right now because the last time I was down there, we got into a nasty reading session. And my daddy called himself taking her side. Every time I get into it with my mama, they take her side. So it's like, my daddy just trying to earn brownie points. And this the gag. My mama wouldn't be speaking to now one of the men that I call daddy if it wasn't for me. I'm the one who reunited her with them. And now they in cahoots on me. Ain't that a mess? Y'all wouldn't be speaking if it wasn't for me. Now y'all in cahoots on me. Make me wish I would have never gave them each other phone number. Y'all wasn't even speaking to each other. Y'all didn't even like each other. I brought them together, calling my mama, bragging about him. He did this for me. He did that for me. And my mom and my daddy this and that. Now they getting along, and I don't. Ain't that messed up? Now y'all sitting on the phone dragging for me. You think I don't know? Y'all done got together and sitting on the phone dragging for me. A mess. But y'all, it's all right. I ain't tripping. It be that way sometimes. I say, I'm Maleficent. I'm Maleficent. I'm the fairy that they didn't want to invite to the party. It's okay. It's all good. But yeah, so and that's another thing that bothered me too during the holidays. It's like this is the time where you don't want to be beefing with your family. Like me and my sisters getting along with one of my sisters. And one of my sisters and my nieces, like we real close and stuff. But yeah, that kind of bothered me too. So I told y'all in the last video that I took the vaccine. It's been 2 days. I haven't really had any side effects yet. I'm thankful. I hope I don't have any. I'm going to be traveling soon. So I probably won't do another live until maybe Saturday or Sunday. Um, yeah, but I just wanted to come on here tonight and just kind of like, vent a little bit about, my stress, my struggle for the holidays. I want to play a song. I don't know what I want to play though. Child, I've been singing all day long. Like I was cleaning my apartment. I was cleaning my apartment. And I literally have been singing all day long. I don't want to play nothing that they gonna get me for. So I guess I'll play one of my songs, and take us out with one of my songs, huh? Yeah, let's play one of my songs. I wish I had that guy. God is on here. I like that song. I do like that one. I should have put that one at the end of this. I wonder if I could put that at the end of this video. That's how it is. You were the right, and now they back together and they shade me. Girl, a mess. Girl, a mess. Now they shading me, girl. Now they sitting up cackling and yackling about me. Girl, stop.
The Google app is the better way to search when I see something wicked on my feed.
We're gonna do my little bounce.
I didn't think I had time for a master's, but with WGU, I can move to an accredited business degree as soon as I master the material. An online nonprofit university that lets me fit school around my schedule. I choose WGU.
This is a story.
And I like this song because even though it got the bounce in it, I was going to play the one without the bounce beat to it, but my battery is dead on the other one. But I like this song because in the song, if you listen to the lyrics, and you could go to, if you wanna listen to the music, it's on YouTube, and it's Kineen Mafa.
DJ Flash, what's up?
All right, Flash.
Down in the city. Come on.
That care for God. So I wrote this song for New Orleans. That care for God. Most of my songs, not all of them, but a lot of my songs that I like, they have in there. The booster, you have to stay in. You feel bad with some people. Okay. Yeah, well, I'm gonna wait. Yeah, I got 2 months before I have to take that. So I'll go take it in February. Wait, February. Yeah, I'm gonna take it at the end of February. My son's feeling bad since the booster. I hope he not have to take another booster. Girl, after I take this one, girl, I ain't taking no more. We gonna have to come together if we ever want sober. Can't say you love daddy and ignore mama. Can't stand in the same place if you wanna go further. Down in the city that care for God. Down in the city that care for God. I took my diet pill today, baby. Wait, hold on. Girl, I took my little diet pill today, baby. She feeling slim, girl. Wait, hold up. Girl, it was all up in my cake, girl. Girl, look, she was feeling slim today, baby. Wait, hold on. Yeah. Girl, she is feeling slim today, bro. Girl, she feeling slim today, bro. Girl, I ate one time today. I had a smoothie, and I had some okra and tomato and brown rice, and that was it. And I wasn't hungry. Let me go get the pills, girl. I gotta show them to you.
All right, Flash.
And the number one.
I really honestly
For people living with HIV,
I really honestly love my doctor. Like, that's one of the reasons why I like having my health care here because I do travel a lot. So I'm going to be traveling in a minute. But I go to the South, different parts of the South, you know, and but I like having my health care here because I love that man. Like he just, I normally don't like male doctors. I normally like female doctors, but he's Asiatic and he's a really really good doctor. Like he's like anything I ask him for, within reason, he always give it to me. He listened to me when I say I don't want to do something. He don't pressure me. Like he didn't pressure me to get vaccinated. I took it when I was ready. You know, he don't pressure me to take flu shots and stuff like that. I do it when I'm ready. I let him know when I'm ready. If I need blood tests, if I need something checked, if I need an STD check or whatever, like he listens to me and he really hears me and he doesn't treat me like a client. He treats me like we're a partner in healthcare, partnering in my healthcare. And that's what I like. Before him, I had a different doctor. It was a white woman, Caucasian woman, and she felt like she knew everything. And me and her used to bump heads. I don't like that. Don't feel like you know me better than me, because I don't give a damn how long you went to school. I'm living in this body. I unlike a lot of people, I pay attention to my body. I can feel when a cold coming on. I can feel when something is changing in my body, something ain't right. I know because I pay attention to my body. I listen to my body. Just like I pay attention to the weather outside, I pay attention to my body. So I don't care how long you went to school. I live in here. I live in here. I wake up and go to sleep in this body. You went to school how many years? I've been living in this body for 40 something years. Period. So he gave me this. It's called, I don't know, I'm not gonna try to pronounce that. But let me cover up all that other stuff. But let's see if you could read that. It's called it's PHENTERMINE. Now he said that it was gonna make my heart flutter, like my heart was gonna beat fast because it's a stimulant. But I didn't notice an irregular heartbeat. But my appetite was suppressed because I finally ate. I ate before I got ready to do this live, and I wasn't hungry. I made myself eat because I was like, "Girl, you ain't had nothing today but a smoothie, girl." But I had like a little portion. I had like a little portion, and so yeah, I got a supply of 30. I have 30. I think I'm going to drop some weight. I think that I'm gonna be sexy, girl, and I'm not gonna abuse them. Because this is my first time ever taking diet pills in my life. Normally, I could do it naturally, but I'm on the medication for the nothingness, honey, and she makes me want to eat everything that's not nailed down, especially when I'm smoking weed. But since I took the vaccine this week, I have not been smoking, so I haven't had no weed since Sunday. And I haven't been drinking either. So I haven't been drinking. I haven't had no alcohol or no weed since Sunday. And typically my appetite curves a little bit when I stop smoking weed too. But the pills, like, this is how it happens. Okay, so you smoke weed, your stomach get bigger because your stomach is a certain size. So if you eat a lot, your stomach gets bigger because you've been eating a lot. So what happens is when I'm on the medication and I'm smoking weed, my stomach get bigger. So even when I stop smoking weed, because my stomach is bigger, because I done stretched my stomach, then, I still need to eat. I still have urges to eat. And so over these 30 days, this is going to help me to shrink the size of my stomach. So by the time I get off the pill, I won't want to eat that much, My diet will be back there. So, girl, I'm finna use, girl. I love these girls. I love these girls. I love them. Like today, I was in here cleaning. I had buku energy. Girl, I was cleaning my house. I had energy. I wasn't hungry. And normally when you use a lot of energy, you be hungry. So, I wasn't and he did like a 30 milligram. So he didn't give me like a high strong dosage. He gave me a small dosage. He said, we're gonna see how you work on this. He said you want to be slim and sexy for the New Year's. He know me so well. But he said we're gonna try you on this dosage and we're gonna see how this dosage work. And if you like it, then if it's not working, you'll need to increase it. But y'all, we're not gonna need to increase nothing because, like I said, girl, I had to make myself eat. Girl, 30 days, girl. What? Girl, if I could drop a pound a day, girl, that'd be 30 pounds more. Girl, if I could drop a half a pound, girl, that'd be 15 pounds more. Girl, get rid of them 15 pounds. Girl, just give me 20 more. I'll take 20, girl. Really, honestly, and truly, I do want them 30 because right now I am 217 pounds. I know it don't look like it, but this is 217 pounds, girl. It's all back there. And here, I got a little stomach. Girl, all up in here, girl. It's there, girl. It's motherfucking 217 pounds, girl. And this 217 pounds is weighing me out, girl. Girl, I don't like feeling like it messes with my breathing when I be over, like I be feeling like my breathing. I be struggling with my okay, good. I may see if I can find an over the counter version. Yeah, he prescribed these for me. And I had to pay out of pocket for them, but they wasn't nothing but $20 though, because my insurance wouldn't cover them, because it's like a cosmetic thing. But I only had to pay $20 for them. Like they really, really good. They're really good, And I'm not really like a person who do the diet pill thing. I know I've had girlfriends who have done the diet pill thing. I always really be like trying to be disciplined and do it on my own. But girl, right now I gotta put pride to the side. I gotta put pride to the side, girl. No, girl. I be sitting right. I'd be 240 pounds. I'm talking about, girl. I'ma get it off, girl. Girl, I'm not finna just keep letting weight pile up on me, girl. Talking about, girl, I'ma let it. I looked at him. I said, look, I need a diet pill. Period. Now, this is how I see it though. I feel like once I expose myself, like the diet pill is going to help me to program myself. I'm not going to become addicted to diet pills and use diet pills all the time, to lose weight. But what I'm going to do is mentally, I'm going to discipline myself, because what the diet pill is going to help me to do is shrink my stomach. So once my stomach shrinks, it's up to me if I decide I want to go back and start stuffing my face and stretch my stomach again. But I can reduce the size of my stomach in 30 days. Now, I may get another prescription after this one because 30 days is just 30 days. I mean, girl, what would it hurt to do 2 months? 2 months, 60 days, girl. Give me another 30-day supply, girl. Okay, and then once I get that 30-day supply, honey, and I've got that stomach nice and petite, girl, that I done shrunk that stomach up, that stomach muscle up, girl, and got her nice and downsized, girl. Okay, girl, then I could go here. I got it from there. I don't need no more help. Like, I got the energy. My stomach is smaller. I'm not eating as much. And now my mind has been programmed. And, it's mind over matter after that. Once you done got the weight down, you see the results, you see you done lost this weight. girl, I'm not about to go back to, nah. And then I'm to the point now to whereas I'm talking to my doctor now because they're trying to see about putting me on the shot so that I don't have to take the medication every day for the nothingness. So, I told him, if he don't, do what he needs to do by March, honey, the girl is going to be taking her a break. And I told my partner, look, baby, you need to get on some prep. Cause I'm not I gotta detox my body. I gotta purge, honey. I gotta clean my stomach. I gotta clean my gut. I gotta clean all this stuff out of me. I'm thankful for the medication. I'm thankful for what it does. But at the same time, I have to have balance in my life. So when I get ready to do my purge and I get ready to clean my body out and I get off these medications for a little while, baby, you need to get on some prep so you won't be worried. Take your prep, baby. Take your prep pill. Take your prep of some pepper something. Because if you want to be digging and pouching and, we're going to be doing it raw, honey, then get on some prep. Period. And that's how we're going to do that. Period. Because I'm not going to be round here. I had to cut my hair because my hair won't grow right when I'm on that medication. I gain weight and my hair be falling out. Like, this is just too much. But what I do like about the medication is I could stay off of that girl for a year and get right back on that girl and be undetectable within 2 weeks. Oh, that medicine works lovely, honey. She works lovely for me. I'm glad that I ain't got to jump around from medication to medication to medication. I could stay off that medication for a nice little spell, honey. And then when I decide to get back on her, girl, I'm undetectable in 2 weeks, girl. So I'm take me a little break from her. Tell that girl bye. Girl, where's my baby? Girl, she down there. She done made her own bed. Like, she literally have a bed down here that she done made, girl. She down there asleep. But, girl, let me go ahead and get ready to go to sleep, too, because, baby, I have to sleep while she sleep because she'll keep me up all night. She over here visiting now, my cat. Queen Fama. Queen Fama. Say hey to the people. Say hey to the people. Say hey, Trina. Say hey, Trina. Say hey, Trina. All right, y'all. Well, let me go ahead and you baby. You baby. You lay down. And let me light my candle. Don't go, come your butt here. Sit down. Sit down. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me light my candle. You about to hit it again, ain't you? Okay, we're gonna light this candle to guide the ancestors home. Okay, so we got this candle. We light this candle to guide home the ancestors who have transitioned this world today and every other day since we've been away from our altars. This candle acknowledges the Trinity, past, present, and future. Past, present, and future. As this candle diminishes on the physical plane, it grows with intensity on the spiritual plane to guide our ancestors to the next part of the journey. Amen. A woman, Laylam, Layla. Down but now that I say Kuiki spinning and turning Iangani Iyanko Kalukalo, which means I am a child of God goddess. And if I am, you know you are. Love y'all. I enjoyed you. Good night.